Hi, everyone. How we doing today? We are the real estate ladies of North Atlanta, Mary Ellen Benakin, Susan Jennings, and today we're going to be talking about spools. What is a spool?
A spool is a combination of a spa and a pool that you can put in a backyard that's a little bit smaller than, what a typical backyard might be. So it offers you a lot of versatility. It offers you a unique way to cool off in the summer and sit in a nice hot tub in the winter. Plus, you have the option of having incredible features, water features, as well as fire features around a spool. And they're smaller than normal pools, so they're cost efficient and they are lower to maintain. They're easier to maintain and they have great design ideas.
So is that like a plunge pool, or just explain this to me, Sue? Because I'm really
Well,
trying to understand
right.
exactly what it
So,
is.
so spools can have a lot of different names. Some of them are plunge pools, some are cocktail pools. Spools are just like a smaller pool in general. So a small pool could be in the range of like 10 feet by 20 feet, whereas
Okay.
a medium-sized pool might be 15 feet by 30 feet, and a larger pool would be 20 feet by 40 feet. So 40 feet, if you know what, for example, that's generally a lap pool in terms of the
Okay.
length of the pool is 40 feet. But you can go half that size and half that width and have a small pool. And you could in the pool, you can include a hot tub. You could
Uh-huh.
include a sun shelf. A sun shelf is where you could put like a water chair or a lounger into the water. It's like 6 inches of water to the shelf. And you could have a bubbler on that shelf as well. And you could put maybe two loungers side by side and be sitting kind of in the water, but not really in the water on your lounge chair.
So are they mostly like saltwater pools or chlorine pools or a mixture of both? What have you seen so far?
Well, all water needs to have some chlorine in it. So traditionally pools were, chlorine, but then
Right.
people were finding out it was irritating to their eyes. It was
Mhm.
difficult for people with asthma to swim in chlorinated pools. So a lot of people started using saltwater pools.
Okay.
Saltwater pools are still popular today. However, think about salt being very corrosive. So what a lot of people are doing now is they're going to mineral water pools, which used to
Oh.
be in the bougie spas and so forth that
Mhm.
the nicer hotels, maybe out west, like in Phoenix or Scottsdale, they would have mineral water pools. And it's like taking a bath in a vitamin, basically. The mineral water is so good for you. But all water does have a certain amount of chlorine in it. It's just less in a saltwater pool and then even less than that in a mineral pool. So a lot of these smaller spools are mineral water pools, which is really, really nice.
That's cool. It's kinda like you're at a
Yeah,
spa in your backyard, right?
right, right. So they're not going to have like the great big water slides and things like that. So kids might not love spools, but what you can do with spools, and you can do them with other pools too, but you can have a nice hot tub that could seat maybe up to 6 people or so. You get like a nice 7 by 7 spa in the corner of the pool. A lot of the spools are rectangular because they do fit in smaller spaces. But you can put fire features and water features in these pools. So you can have, like a shelf where there's a waterfall. You can have a fire bar on the top of that shelf, for instance, that is kind of ambient lighting or ambient lighting at night for entertaining your guests. And maybe they're not even in the pool, but you can have the fire feature on and the waterfall on, and it's just nice background noise, white noise, so to speak, to entertain your guests and keep everybody relaxed.
Yeah, and that's kinda cool,
Sometimes,
like, with the waterfall, like, if you're on a small lot and you don't wanna hear your neighbors,
mhm,
that's a great idea to put that waterfall in because you're
right,
just gonna hear that noise and you're not gonna hear the noise of the neighbors. So
right,
that's a good
Who doesn't love just hearing running water? I mean, it's so tranquil and relaxing to sit by a little stream or to sit by your pool when you've got a little bit of a water feature involved. And you can also, with these pools, you can do really interesting things at night with, like I started to say, fire features. You can even get fireball bowls. Fire bowls are usually put at the corner of a pool, and you can have fire features there. The other things that you can do at night that are interesting with these pools is you can there's LED lighting in the pools. Now you can set it to change colors,
Right.
and you can use an app on your phone, and you can do themed colors. So if it's 4th of July, you could have your pool be red, white, and blue. You can have, at the holidays, you can have whatever your favorite holiday colors are
Right.
come on in the pool and rotate through the lighting. So there's a lot of fun things that can now be done from a technology standpoint,
Right.
to really make these pools a lot of fun. And also from a technology standpoint, they can be run like off an app on your phone.
Right.
So everybody's got their phone. You're not like rummaging through the drawer. Who had the remote last, or have that ugly remote attached to the wall in your kitchen or something like that. You can just run it off your phone. And you can also set cycles for the pool for cleaning as well. Some pools you do have to drop in, a remote cleaner, just like
Mhm.
a vacuum that runs around the pool. But you can also get in-floor cleaning systems that clean the pool automatically for you on a rotational basis.
Yeah, it's
So there's
kinda
a lot
cool.
that can be done.
Yeah, I would say that that sounds like so much fun because it's like you could be entertaining and it's just like I have some clients who had the fireballs and man, at night the pool just looks so cool with the LED lights and the fireball
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
it was just kind of neat how technology has really bring this to another level. Um,
Right. So one
would
of the
you
beauties of all of this is these pools are easier to heat. So you can use them
mm,
all year round, and they're not just a seasonal, I can use this 3 months of the year type of a pool. They're an all year round pool usually. And so you get a lot of use out of them for the investment that you're putting into it. They're not very expensive to heat because they're smaller.
right.
And they're really just remarkable.
You can't be playing Marco Polo in them, you know what I mean? There's no place to go.
Well, you might be able to play like a small volleyball game though.
Yeah, right,
So
but
you
no
you can
Marco
still
Polo,
play in
right?
them a good bit.
So bigger isn't better anymore. So what would you say the clientele of people really, purchasing them? I would say more empty nesters or people, either younger with no kids. I mean, because I feel like a pool with kids is just like you're playing Marco Polo, you're running around, you're jumping in, you're diving in, you want the slide. Maybe you can have both. You can have like a little spool for you and your husband and your friends. And then you can have next to it the kid pool, right?
Well, sort of. One of the nice things about the pools is they're not real deep. So you have the use of the entire pool. Whereas if you had a larger pool, you might have a deep end
Right. That's
and
a
then a more
definite.
shallow end.
Mm,
Whereas in a spool, you go from maybe 3 to 4.5 or 5 feet at the deepest point in the center of the pool for the most part. And so, really, you have more usable space in a spool sometimes than you do in the larger pools that have the deep ends, because really diving and so forth isn't that good for you anyway.
no. Or
Right.
cannonballs or
And
anything like that, right? Cannonballs, no. Mm-mm.
right, right. And also, we do see a lot of spools that are being installed in homes like in Hilton Head and resort areas where somebody has a second home, but they don't want to have like the big expense of maintaining a larger pool. They'll put a spool in their second home as well, so that,
Oh, that makes
they have,
sense.
they have the use of a spool at their primary residence or their vacation residence.
Now, what about if somebody wants to like exercise with laps in a pool? You know what I mean? Would you say,
Well,
what can you do for that?
you can get the pools that have the water current I don't know exactly what the correct word for that is, so that you can swim against the current in the pool and you can get good exercise in them. Plus, you could do water aerobics in the pool, being that they're not real deep. You can, easily exercise in the pools and really, get a lot of use out of them that way.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, I definitely would say if you can exercise in the pool, because a lot of people will
Hmm.
go, they'll either lounge in the pool or they'll exercise or they'll play games. You know what I mean? Like there's
Right.
no in between. What are they going to do? Just sit there. So they're either going to lounge. So I love how you have what do you call it? The sun's shelf
Sun shelf.
where
Yeah.
you have where you can have your lounge chair and you can sit in there. And it's really hot here in Georgia, so like if I'm in the pool, I want to be like in the water, like lounging in the water. And so that's
Hmm.
a great thing. You don't want to be just sitting out in the sun because it just gets way too hot and humid. So
Right, right. And some of the sun shelves even have a place where you can put they'll have a round hole in the floor of the sun shelf where you can put a pole for an umbrella right in the pool in the sun shelf. So you
well,
can
that's
sit in the
perfect.
shade but
What
still be
more could
sitting in
you?
the water.
And you can sit there, read a book. You could just sit there, listen to music, and you can, I mean, you can like do your water aerobics with the music going on, and you can do all kinds of things. So,
Right. And one thing that if you do have small children and not everybody can have their eyes on small children at all times, you can get covers built into the system of the pool when the pool is being built. And then you can have the cover come across the water automatically and close the pool off when the pool's closed so that children don't accidentally fall into the pool and get injured.
that's a great idea. That's really, really,
Mhm.
I love that. That's a really good idea. Is that also like, I guess if you do solar for your pool too, you would use one of those another type of cover
Right.
similar to that.
Right. And those covers are also good in the fall because they keep leaves out of your pool and
Yeah.
keep the water a lot cleaner.
Yeah. Cause those leaves, I mean, they go flying everywhere. I mean, it's just,
Hmm.
and then you're having to take your little skimmer out and skim those, those leaves and stuff. Yeah, I know. I used to take care of a pool when I was a kid. So I know exactly what entails all of cleaning a pool, because those days we didn't have services. We did it ourselves. Our parents and
Hmm.
ourselves did clean the pool, so I'd have to filter it out and do kind of fun things. And I remember having to like check the water and the levels and everything. That was kind of fun.
Hmm.
Which I
Right.
bet no anyone that's listening to us is like, what the heck are you talking about? Because you just have a pool guy come now, right? But many
Right.
years ago we didn't have that.
Well, you can also get systems put on your pool where the water passes underneath a UV light, and the UV light actually purifies the water and takes a lot of the bacteria and so forth out of the water. So that's another way that you can keep these smaller pools a lot cleaner than even the larger pools because it's, you know, you can have these systems built right in too.
Nice. So what I think
Mhm.
we pretty much talked about, like what you use it for. How about how do you find someone to build it, or what is the process there? Do you need a permit, or
Well,
what do you need?
there are pool builders. There's a variety of them actually in the Atlanta area. I recommend getting multiple estimates, talking to different pool builders, because your personality will mesh with some better than others. Some, have more availability than others. Some are busier than others. And the pricing can really vary from pool builder to pool builder. Um, you know, I know some of these pools are less expensive, but some can still be over $100,000. So you really need to do your homework on that and see what fits your budget the best.
Yeah. I always say getting three quotes and
Hmm.
meeting with three different contractors, because you can see like who you like, who you mesh with. And also, it's very important nowadays to look at reviews. There are reviews everywhere online and Google, and
Right.
talk to people. Like I always ask for, hey, can I have someone's who you just did or someone's pool? And it's always good to have a referral of someone who's used that person. So
Right.
that's always really good too.
Right. And you also want to talk to a landscape designer as well to incorporate the design of the pool with the surroundings and your space, the lighting that you, the natural light that you have in the backyard, and what will grow there and what won't grow there. And also, you might want to consider incorporating that space in with a gazebo or an outdoor kitchen. Outdoor kitchens are very, very popular.
Yes.
People love to see them, you know, in homes when they're looking for a new home. They love outdoor kitchens. So those are the types of things that you want to also price out and see what
Mhm.
fits in your budget and see what your needs really are, because outdoor kitchens don't need to be huge, but they need to be
Right.
functional.
Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
And I think everyone has really come to a conclusion where, you know, trending is outdoor space, indoor outdoor space. So
Right,
people really, really, really like that outdoor space, and they're going
right.
to sit out there and they're going to read a book. They're going to have a TV out there. They're going to have an outdoor kitchen. They're going to cook out there. They're going to have their social, they're going to socialize. It's like a
Mhm.
continuation of the kitchen. Remember, everybody, when you have a party, everyone's surrounding around the kitchen islands, right? So this just
Mhm.
makes everybody go outside and they're like around the pool. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's just bringing that social outside more than inside. So
Right, right. Yeah, and covered space is very, very important here in the South. So, you know, if you have a porch nearby, or you can provide shade for that space, that's also very, very helpful. And it's important to remember that when you are entertaining guests, to make sure that you don't have glass around the pool, because any broken glass or anything that could happen as far as something breaking could really be damaging to the pool, to the people in the pool. And sometimes pools have to be drained and cleaned when something like that happens. So, you know, use that non-breakable, you know, acrylic or
yes.
melamine or whatever that you have, or even go purchase some if you don't have any. Home Goods always has a lot of it every single year, and they have pretty colors and pretty themes of things that, you
Yeah,
know,
and a
really
lot of
could
these
make it.
a lot of these cups look like glass.
Mhm,
Like you would
mhm.
never even know. I mean,
Right,
it's just I was at a bridal shower the other day, and they had these champagne glasses, and they looked like they were glass, but they were plastic. You could write your names
right,
on it. Like you could write your
right,
names on it and stuff so that you know, you
right,
remember which is your glass. So it's
right,
amazing how you can just kind of do that as well. So
right.
yeah, those are
And you
good.
don't want to ever give anybody a beer bottle around a pool.
Oh
You want to
no.
make sure you're giving them, you know, a plastic mug or acrylic mug to put it in, or give them a can rather than a bottle.
Okay.
So it's just things to remember when you're entertaining, and you know, you've really got to protect your pool and protect yourself and protect your guests.
So I
We want
have a
everybody to stay
question. I have a
safe.
question for you. So like
Hmm.
if I wanted to get a spool and I wanted to, you know, watch my pennies a little bit, would it be easier like to have it done during the winter time, during the summertime, during the spring, or during the fall? Do you know like maybe what would be more budget conscious?
I don't think that that really makes a big difference.
Okay.
You know, you might, like I said, I think it's best to talk to three different pool builders, get three different
Mhm.
estimates, find out what, you know, so much of the cost of the pool is the equipment that runs the pool and the water system, more
Right.
so than the actual size of the pool. So those the pool equipment is really kind of your fixed cost in the pool,
Yeah.
regardless of what size the pool is. So, you know, you really need to talk to a couple different people. Jandy is a big company that does a lot of pool equipment, but there are other you know, companies out there that might fit
Mhm.
your budget a little bit better. But there's also different finishes that can impact the cost of the pool, as to, you know, whether you're doing just a plaster pool, or whether
Right.
you're doing like a gunite or a pebble tech pool, or a knockoff of a gunite or pebble tech.
Okay.
Those surfaces tend to be a little bit more expensive. They're generally preferred by a lot of people. They do, you want to make sure you're picking one that's not rough on your feet, because the pebbles can be different Some of them feel sharper than others,
Mhm.
but they can impact the color of the water significantly. So you get to, when you pick out your Pebble Tech or your gunite, you can select your color based upon what color you want your water to be. So if you
Right.
want a really intense blue color, you would pick one color of Pebble Tech or gunite, versus, if you wanted that dark gray look. Some people really
Yeah.
like that nudie look to their pool. So really, it's very customizable, to whatever your taste is and how you want that pool to look.
And I would say this is not a project for do it yourself. This
No,
is just not a project ever, ever,
no,
ever.
no.
Water, electricity, plumbing, digging holes. No, that is just,
Right.
sorry, guys. I don't think this is a do it yourself. I mean, there's so many other projects out there that you can do. This is something that you do need a professional to do, and
Right.
you need to hire someone and they know how to get all the permits and do all the legal stuff that has to be done. Plus, they'll have
Right.
a nice warranty on it as well. Most
Hmm.
most pool companies will give you a warranty for a certain amount of years, and also the pool equipment too has a warranty too, and that's something you need to take care of, having a
Right.
warranty.
So additional costs that you need to consider too, and some of this can take some time. You're going to need a building permit. You're going to need electrical permit for the electrician that's got to run all the wiring for this, plumbing permits, zoning permits, and also probably a pool affidavit with the city that you're building the pool in, and then they will also inspect the pool as well, because we want to make sure that it's safe. In addition to all of that, you need to make sure that you have in your budget a line item for fencing, because you do
Yep.
need to fence the pool in to keep, small children out, local children out, anybody who might wander onto the property, even if they're not a child. Plus, to keep animals out of the pool as well. So you need to consider your local HOA regulations.
Hmm.
Any other local regulations that you need to know about, building codes, safety standards, things like that. You need to consider the additional expense of the insurance that's going to be on your property because you now do have a pool, and also landscaping and how you're going to finish that all off with maybe some low voltage lighting, some pretty landscaping,
Right.
and things that will enhance the overall appeal of the pool for many years to come.
Yeah, and let's go back to HOA.
Okay.
So a lot of HOAs are like, you have to show them a design. So I really,
We
and
do.
people don't understand because they'll come from other parts of the country like we did. I was like, we had a pool in our backyard.
Mhm.
Like we didn't have to have the subdivision approve it or whatever. So here in the South, a lot of communities have homeowners association. That's what HOA is. And they
Mhm.
abide by certain rules. They have these covenants and you have to abide by these rules. So if you're wanting to make a change on your property, you have to get permission from the HOA. So
Right.
that's always like one of your first steps is like, hey, call the HOA. Hey, whether it's a management company or it might be managed by the people who live in the community too, but reach out to them and find out what is the process, because you don't want to get fined or get yourself in trouble and say, hey,
Mhm.
I'm putting a pool together, what do I need to get approved? So that
Right.
that is also a downfall of living in the South in a community, because a lot of people want to do what they want to do, but most HOAs are going to approve exactly what you want. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Unless you're putting it, on your front porch or something, you know what I mean? But you're putting it in your backyard. So, I mean, you'd be surprised what people say. So it depends. And also, I would say this is interesting because if you do live on a corner lot, you have to get a lot of things approved, because a corner lot, sometimes the neighbors all can see. So they might ask you to put more landscaping around the
Mhm.
fencing so that they don't see the fencing from the road. So, yeah, I mean,
Right.
HOAs can get particular on certain things. So just take that into effect, and also putting in a spool.
Right. You need to find out what your setbacks are for your particular neighborhood or street as to how close you're allowed to come to the neighbor's property and things like that.
Yeah. No, I mean, those
Mhm.
are things that people don't think about, but it's something that could get yourself in trouble or not. So, yeah.
Right.
What else do we got
So,
to talk about?
well, we were going to talk about one of our neighborhood highlights.
Yeah, so we're going to go into our second segment, which is all about neighborhood highlights. And today we're going to talk about a great subdivision in Roswell, Crabapple area. And
Mm-hmm.
it's called Edenwild, which is one of my favorites, really, subdivisions that I've known for so many years. It's just a really fun community, and I just love all the houses there. They're all different. But Sue's going to tell us a little bit about the community, and I'm going to chime in when I want to.
Thanks, Mary Ellen. So, Edenwild is a charming, family oriented neighborhood of about 391 homes. And it's like Mary Ellen said, it's in the Crabapple area in Roswell in Fulton County. And it's a beautiful neighborhood, and it was built on land that was once a nursery and a dairy farm by a developer by the name of Fairgreen. And they actually were awarded the Global Relief Award by the National Association of Home Builders for Edenwild's lush landscaping
Yeah.
and their individual gardens and their tree-lined streets. So Edenwild is just a very, very pretty community with lakes and extensive landscaping and 7 acres of recreational area. The homes in Edenwild in the past 6 months, there have been 9 sales, and they have sold on average for about $906,000 each, in a range from about 700,000 to just over $1 million. Listen to this, the average sale price to list price ratio was 104.7%. So the
Wow.
neighborhood is so attractive to buyers that they're actually paying almost 5% over list price for most of these homes. And these homes are selling on average in about a week. And they range in size from 3,000 to 5,000 square feet. And they were built between 1995 and 2005. They're
Yeah. And
in a
what I,
great school area
yeah.
and located close to shopping as well.
Oh yeah, right across the street is that Kroger. So what I
Mm-hmm.
really like about Edenwald is I have some of my daughter's friends when she was in school. They all lived in there when it was,
Mm-hmm.
like, in the 2000, to 2000 to 2005. And they had great parties. We'd go to, like, they would always have this great community events. They would have the swimming was fun, so the kids would always go swimming. And also they have an amazing tennis. So they do have
Mm-hmm.
some nice tennis courts with a gazebo, and it's just a really nice area. And you can walk around the lake. I mean, there's just so much to see there in Edenwild. And the
Right.
location is like, you would never know. You drive out of the location and you can walk to Kroger and the bakery and so many other shops that you wouldn't even think when you're inside the
Mm-hmm.
neighborhood that how close it is to everything in that downtown Crabapple area, Roswell area, close to the schools and everything else. So
Right, right. And downtown Crabapple has really grown. I mean, there's a brewery there now. There's restaurants. There's the Old Blind Dog Pub that's been there for several years. There are businesses there. There's a fantastic resale shop of high-end clothing. There's a physical therapy place. There's a gym. There's just a community center there. There's just a lot right there in downtown Crabapple, and plenty of parking too now because they put in a parking garage.
yeah, so it's really close to that downtown Crabapple, maybe like what,
Mm-hmm.
2 miles away, if that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got lots of shopping and everything right there. And Crabapple's close by. A lot of families live in Edenwild. There's just tons of families and kids running around and dogs and animals and stuff. So it's really they're just a really great community. I think it's not gated. So it's an open type community, except it's a really hot community because the houses go so fast there and people
Mm-hmm.
desire to be in that neighborhood. And I would
Yeah,
say most
it's
of
a
the
great group
houses,
of neighbors.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and most of the houses now have been totally updated so that you go in there and you kind of feel, even though they were built in the 90s and 2000 era, the houses are going to look like 2024-ish, So,
Yeah,
so that's
exactly.
good. Anything else to add about Edenwild while we're sitting here
No,
chatting?
I think we've pretty much covered it, but now we're up to our segment where we're going to talk about something that we love in North Atlanta.
And what do we love today in North Atlanta, Sue? Today, we love
Wills Park. And for anybody who doesn't know Wills Park, there's a little bit of everything in Wills Park and something for everyone in Wills Park. So Wills Park is a 120-acre community. It is located near downtown Alpharetta. It's right off of, if you took Georgia 400 and you got off at exit 10 on Old Milton Parkway and you headed west towards Rucker Road, you would come right up to Wills Park. The park features so many different amenities for sports enthusiasts, for kid play, for people that want to take part in equestrian activities, those that want to play tennis or swim or pickleball, or, just have a great picnic with the family at one of the pavilions in Wills Park. There's just so much to do, including some ball fields as well for baseball. So,
Yeah, and I think what's interesting is that horses. Yeah, they have
mhm.
horses. They have
Yeah,
horses.
they do.
Like,
They've
where do you see
recently
that?
redone a lot of the equestrian area too
Oh,
there.
it's
So,
just, it's so pretty. They really have
mhm,
redone a lot, and they do have a big, big community pool there. They have a great swim team there, and tennis and pickleball and all that stuff. So, I mean, there's something for everyone there. And honestly, you can walk to downtown Alpharetta, which I think is amazing from that park.
right, right. So there are also two dog parks there. There's a small dog park and a large dog park. And they were the first dog park I took my dog to anyway in this area. And we can do a whole segment sometime, Mary Ellen, on all the dog
We
parks in the
definitely need to talk
Alpharetta
about
area.
dog parks because
Yeah,
that
we
is
will.
trending so much now. Everyone
Right.
loves their dogs and they like to go to dog parks and have their dogs have play dates and play frisbee and play this and play that. So play ball and do all that kind of stuff. So yeah,
Well,
we definitely need to
speaking
talk
of
about some
playing
dog parks.
frisbee, have you ever played disc golf? Because
No.
Wills Park has a disc golf course that is
Oh, yeah.
really, really pretty, and I have played on it. And I am not great at disc golf, but I have a family member that is, and he has taught us all how to play, and it's so much fun for the whole family.
Yeah, that's something that you're like, what's that? But that is actually fun. I don't know that I'd be good at that because like when I throw a frisbee, it goes like at the beach, like into the water, and then we lose it, that kind of stuff. But I would say, and I would also say that there's just so many activities you can do this. It's for the family. If you're single, you can walk around. If you've got a dog, which it seems like everybody has a dog around here. It's great with the dog park to meet people and just bring the community together. It's always busy over there, and that was just something that we love about North Atlanta. We've been here
Right.
for a while, and we've just spent a lot of time in that park, and we just wanted to kind of let you know about it. So, anything else to add about Wills Park? I think we kind of nailed it.
No, I think we covered it.
Yeah. So, like I said, we always do a newsletter about North Atlanta, Milton, and Alpharetta with all the activities, and there's activities about Wills Park in our newsletter. So if you'd like to subscribe, we'd love to send that to you. And if you need anything else, we're here for you, and appreciate and have a great day. And thanks for listening to us and our segment on the Real Estate Ladies of North Atlanta. Thanks, Sue. Have a great day.
Thank you.